the force at weapons posture 1. Warning red. Weapons tight. I want everything loaded.
With Battleship, what was your favorite moment to film?
I really enjoyed working with the injured troops. I play a physical therapist that specializes in working with guys who have lost limbs overseas, and we actually went to these medical hospitals and shot these guys and worked with these guys. And that was probably one of the most rewarding things for me, just because it shines a light on how heroic they are and the challenges that they have faced and they do face on a regular basis. So I felt very proud to bring that kind of real element to the movie.
What are your favorite films and what are your favorite big screen moments?
My favorite films. You know what scene I love that that sticks out to me, and it's just kind of off the cuff, is you know the scene in Almost Famous when they're all on the bus and they start singing Tiny Dancer, the Cameron Crowe film, and it's just this really cool moment on screen, and that scene really pops out to me. It's one of my favorite moments in the cinema.
In terms of, you said you've seen the work of Peter Berg before.
Yes.
Are there any other directors that you enjoy watching?
I love Cameron Crowe, as I said earlier. David Fincher, I think, is incredible. I love Jason Reitman. Oliver Stone always does those kind of controversial telling of the times movies that I find to be really smart and intriguing. So yeah, I would say those are my favorite directors. And of course, Peter Berg.
Peter Berg obviously has done some amazing scenes in his previous films as well. Are there any that stand out to you?
The Kingdom, the scene when, you know, they have all these kids playing a baseball game, and then all of a sudden there's this horrible, gruesome attack. It was such a polarizing scene because you go through the emotions of being kind of swept up in this sweet, innocent, childlike moment, and it's turned gruesome so fast. And the way he shot it, it kind of had that shaky handheld cam. It felt like you were there. And it was one of those very intense moments on film. A lot of soldiers, actually, that we talked to filming Battleship said that they had to turn The Kingdom off because it took them back to some place that was very real to them. And I think Pete did a sort of good and scary job of capturing something that was very real, intense, and that scene of his definitely sticks with me.
And what about films that make you laugh or films that generate emotion?
Films that generate emotion. I remember in the theater seeing Green Mile, and I remember I was very young, probably too young to watch it, and I remember blubbering like an idiot in it, and it was that just effect of being surrounded by this dramatic, sad, intense movie. It left me crying like a child. I guess I was a child, but my gosh, it left a huge impact on me. So that was a pretty big cinema moment as well.
I guess on the opposite end of that scale, the
comedy.
Films, yeah.
Comedy. I mean, I love anything Judd Apatow does. I saw Bridesmaids 4 times in the theater. 4 times. I went by myself. I took every friend I had at one point. I saw that 4 times. So that was probably one of my favorite comedies I've ever seen.
Is that sort of a girly experience there, or did you just go with just...
It was, once I went with guys and girls, once I went with just girls, and once I went by myself, and I think the last time with a couple friends. But yes and no. I mean, I think the fact that it did so well, it proved that it kind of did well with guys and girls. And to hear the theater, weeks after the movie had come out, be full and have this thunderous laughter, it was just good movie watching. I really enjoyed it.
And were you ever wary about doing such a big film as this?
No, because it's Peter Berg, and I will do anything Peter Berg asks me to do. He's one of my favorite directors and one of my favorite people I've worked for, so I completely trusted him in this process. And honestly, when we were shooting, it didn't feel that big. It felt intimate, you know? We were like this little team making a fun movie together, and now I'm seeing kind of how big it's becoming. But while we were shooting it, it just felt like a really fun, intimate shooting session.
It sounds like you had a lot of fun making the film.
I did.
Do you think that translates to the screen to watch the film?
100%. One of the things I was most surprised by when I watched Battleship for the first time last week, and what I was most surprised by was how funny it was. And I think the reason it was so funny is because you can see those personal relationships coming out through the screen, especially Jesse Plemons and Taylor Kitsch. They have that chemistry, and you see those humorous moments there on screen, and I hope that the audience can really feel how much fun we were having, because all of us just completely fell in love with the process of making this movie.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.